Okay, my name is Amelia Andreas and I will be playing Yona.
My name is Callum Bron and I play the role of Tom.
My name is Jaco van Zel and I'll be playing the role of Francois.
The part that was the most powerful, I think, is me and Tom's funeral scene, because I think that just shows like how important family is and the influence that we have on each other.
If I could ask the screenwriter anything, I would ask him, where does he see himself in the story? Is there any piece of himself that is in the story, or are there any reflections of his own experiences or own relationships in the story between the characters?
The feelings that I share with the characters of Blood Feud would be pretty much a little bit of Tom and Yana, because I revisited something that Callum actually told me in our experimental shoot about not really belonging anywhere, and like at that moment I felt a bit down, and that came to me, and I was also reflecting a bit on family.
I wouldn't say that if there were a character that made me angry within the movie, it would most likely be Tom. For the setting in the story, that it feels like for Francois, this is his area, this is his land, this is in his space. So for Tom to come into a space and disrupt it, it's not something that Francois sees every day. He sees something in Tom, like a potential, either a threat or something much more greater than that.
Creating a timely Western was actually not a challenge, but it was like an experience, because it was my first time shooting this type of film. The conventions, it was a bit of a challenge, because setting up is like, okay, we need to actually look what is the emotion and what are we actually telling the audience. So it was a challenge, but when we get the shot, it actually looks perfect.
The favorite sequence in this film would be the duel scene, and I think the confrontational scene between Francois and Tom. I think if I do this right, there would be very strong cathartic release with the audience at the end of the film.
Favorite part of the film, just from a sound guy's point of view, is the duel. That tension that is built through nothingness, through quietness, through the lack of sound, not indicating to the audience what's going to happen. So you're almost conveying the emotions of the character to the audience, like what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen, the characters don't know what's going to happen, so it just kind of emphasizes the film in that way and brings it up.
My favorite scene to shoot in the film so far was, I'm sure like the other my co-Cindy, was the POV shot from the grave, because I've never used such a wide lens in my life, and just seeing what it does was really cool, and I could play around with it a bit, which was also really nice.
The experience working with the technical department was pretty good. I think I definitely tried to take a backseat this term. I tried to let other people do what they need to do and trust them. So I think it's nice for me to gain that experience as well in trusting others, because my two Cinnies definitely know what they're doing. Cool. Same with sound.
Favorite location, I'll have to say, ironically enough, was the bush fought area where we shot. I thought it would have been the kitchen, seeing as that has the most meat in a sense of creating set. But I would have to say it was the bush fought, because I got to make also quite a few of the set dressing for that. So it gave me a chance to work with tools, which is essentially a big part of why I love production design.
Well, I think favorite part was being able to work with everyone again, and also just the new additions to the crew was just so amazing to also just learn and see what it was like to have a crew and add more people, and everyone just really worked so well together, and so pre-production just went really smoothly, because I knew I could rely on every single person in my crew, so that was just really amazing for pre-production.
It is very important for young creatives, especially in South Africa, that they get into this industry. It is a very small industry. Most of them do not chase their dreams because they listen to what obviously what the parents would say. parents always want for their kids to go for conventional jobs, and that's where dreams die. So if you're looking at this and you're that one kid with that dream of being a filmmaker, I'd say go for your dreams.